Good morning, America. My name is Aaron Rabinovich, and today we are going to learn about the parts of speech.
Waking up with Aaron.
Yeah. Today we will be interviewing each of the parts of speech and how they play a necessary part in sentences. We will be interviewing the nouns, pronouns, adjectives, conjunctions, verbs, and adverbs, and, last but not least, prepositions. Thank you and enjoy.
We will first interview the preposition, and he will tell us how he is helpful when it comes to creating sentences.
Hello, I'm a preposition. I connect nouns and pronouns and phrases to each other's words in a sentence. A prepositional phrase is made up of the prepositions, its object, and any other associated adjectives and adverbs.
That is very interesting. Now, how are you important in a sentence? Why are you used in sentences?
I am very important in many sentences. I connect nouns, pronouns, and phrases. Many sentences need prepositions. Examples of these sentences are: the children climbed the mountain without fear.
Wow, that is very cool, and I can't wait to tell my English teacher about you. Next, we'll be interviewing the noun, another very important part of many sentences.
So noun, what are you, and how are you important when it comes to sentences?
Well, as a noun, I name a person, place, thing, or abstract idea. I'm very important when it comes to sentences, and because most sentences include nouns. An example of a person is Barack Obama. An example of a place is New York City. And an example of an item is a clone. Also, an example of an abstract idea is panic, or, yeah.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot about these things called abstract nouns and concrete nouns. What are they?
Well, a concrete noun names a person, place, thing, or person, place, or thing that can be discerned by seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting, touching, or smelling. So the senses. The opposite would be an abstract noun, and those are nouns that name ideas, characteristics, and feelings.
Okay, now what about these collective nouns? What's the deal with that?
Well, collective nouns name groups, such as an example would be herd, batch, audience, or crew. There are many more, but I don't have time to name all of them. That's all you need to know about what I do and how I'm important and the different types of me.
Thank you for telling us all about yourself.
It was my pleasure. You probably will be interviewing my cousin. He is a conjunction. Now, he is very interesting.
Now with conjunction. So, conjunction, what are you, and why should we learn about you in school?
Well, I'm a word used to join words. What are groups? In a sentence, who's better, John or Jack, or is the conjunction because it connects two nouns, John and Jack?
Oh, that's pretty easy to remember. We are now going to meet up with the proper noun in person and ask him questions about what he is. Now we're going to meet up with the pronoun in person and ask him questions about what he is. So, pronoun, why are you so important and what do you do?
Well, I'm a word used in place of one or more nouns or pronouns. There are a few different kinds of pronouns, and consider personal pronouns, reflexive and intensive and indefinite pronouns.
Okay, let's start with assentative.
Actually, it's an antecedent, and it's a word that the pronoun stands for.
Okay, what about personal pronouns?
Personal pronoun refers to the first person, second person, and the third person speaking.
What are reflexive and intensive pronouns?
Reflexive and intensive pronouns. Okay, let's talk about them. A reflexive pronoun refers to the subject and functions as a complement or an object of preposition. Reflexive and intensive pronouns for the first person, including myself or me. In the sentence, she is very nice. She is a pronoun because it replaces her name. An intensive pronoun emphasizes a noun or another pronoun.
That's very interesting.
Lastly, we'll talk about indefinite pronouns.
What are they?
Indefinite pronouns refers to a person, place, thing, or idea that are not specifically named.
Oh, like he is smart, where he is a indefinite pronoun.
Right, now you know it.
Thanks for telling me about you and answering my questions.
No problem.
Lastly, we will be interviewing the adverb. Hopefully, he will be able to tell us about himself.
We will now be interviewing the adjective, another very important part when it comes to writing detailed sentences. Hello, adjective. I've heard a lot about you, but tell me, why are you so important? And are there different types of adjectives like yourself you will tell us about?
Hi, I'm an adjective, and I'm very happy to be here. My role in the writing world is actually pretty interesting.
How was that?
As an adjective, it's my job to alter a noun or pronoun. That means to describe a noun or pronoun. To give a noun or pronoun a more definite meaning, I alter a word by saying how many, how much, or what kind. An example would be, how many bricks does that house have? That house has a lot of bricks. The question asks how many bricks, and the second question says, the house has a lot of bricks. A lot is the answer to the question. How many from the question?
That is very interesting. Is that the only type of adjective there is, or are there more?
Another type of adjective is called an article. An article is one of the most commonly used adjectives there is. When you talk about the article, there are two types, definite and indefinite articles. Indefinite articles include a and an. There are examples of indefinite articles because they can apply to any member of a general group. An example of a sentence with an indefinite article could be, can I have a pencil? The opposite is an indefinite, which applies to something in particular. One example is the word the. This word refers to something in particular. The sentence, can I have the pencil? The is talking about something in particular. Saying, can I have the pencil? Just says that the person needs any pencil, not one in particular.
That's a lot of information. Next, we'll be interviewing.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, you're not?
No, I still have one more type of adjective to go over.
Oh, okay.
The last type of adjective I will go over is a demonstrative adjective.
Cool, what does it do?
Demonstrative adjectives alter nouns and pronouns. When a demonstrative adjective replaces a noun or pronoun, it refers to as a demonstrative pronoun. Let's compare two sentences, the first one with a demonstrative adjective, and the second one with a demonstrative pronoun. This car is much more clean than that car. This car is more clean than that. The first sentence has a demonstrative adjective because the noun car was in it, and the words this and that were specifying them. The second sentence was when the noun is replaced because the word car was removed, and therefore a demonstrative pronoun. That is all you need to know about adjectives, like myself.
Thank you for answering all of our questions.
We were lucky enough to catch up with the verb. Hopefully you'll be kind enough to answer some of my questions.
Hello, what would you like to know about verbs?
Everything.
Okay, let's take this nice and slow, no need to rush.
Why are you so important when it comes to sentences? And is there more than one type of you in the writing world?
I am very important when it comes to sentences because I'm necessary to every single sentence. Every sentence has a verb.
Oh, so I guess that means you have a big responsibility.
Yes, it does.
So, are there different types of verbs, or are you the only one?
Before I start saying the different types, let me tell you what I am. I am a word used to express an action or state of being.
I understand the action part, but what is the state of being?
Good question. The state of being verb does not express an action, but they state what something is.
Huh?
In the sentence, the dog is happy. Is a state of being verb. It does not express an action, but is still considered to be a verb.
I think I'm starting to understand.
Good, because now we're going to talk about action verbs.
Let me guess, do they express an action?
Good, now you're starting to get it. Action verbs express physical or mental action. Examples are run, jump, swim, or talk. In the sentence, the child yelled at the teacher. Yelled is the action verb.
Okay, is that it?
Nope, we have a lot more to discuss. The next kind of verb we are going to discuss is called a helping verb.
What is that?
A helping verb assists the main verb when expressing an action or state of being.
I get it.
The main verb, on the other hand, is the most important part of a sentence. Without it, the sentence would be considered a fragment.
So, what's a fragment?
A fragment is a phrase punctuated like a sentence. The last word of the necessities for it to be considered a sentence. Another type of verb that we are going to talk about is called a linking verb.
What does it link?
Well, you're seeing things way too literally.
What is it?
A linking verb is a word that attaches the subject of the sentence to a word or a word group that identifies it. An example would be, the dog is very nice, where is the helping verb because it connects dog and very nice.
Are we done?
Almost. The last two verbs we'll be talking about are transitive and intransitive verbs.
Let me guess. Transitive expresses an action pointed towards a person, place, or idea. And intransitive verbs express an action, but with the action being passed to an object or receiver.
Actually, yes. Good job, your first one correct today. An example of a sentence where the transitive verb would be Jack ran 10 laps. And the intransitive verb sentence could be John swam fast.
Please tell me we're done with verbs.
Yes, we are.
Lastly, we will be interviewing the adverb. Hopefully he'll answer all of our questions. So, are you the adverb?
Yes, I am.
So, are you going to answer all my questions about you?
If I'm called an adverb and you're interviewing an adverb, I guess so.
Okay. So, why are you important? And first of all, who are you?
Is that supposed to be an insult?
No, I mean, what do you do in a sentence and why are you important?
Well, I am a word that alters a verb, adjective, or another verb.
Sounds easy enough. Can you give an example of a sentence where you are used?
Yes. In the sentences, the man quickly ran towards the bus. The adverb is quickly because it alters the verb, telling us how the man ran towards the bus.
Okay, and thank you for your time. Thanks to the interview, we now have a firm grasp of how each of these parts of speech help in everyday sentences. This interview was helpful in explaining the different parts of speech and their functions. Thank you and have a good day.